It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, KCAL 9 presents the Dodgers as they take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Tuesday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers and Brewers. The Brewers limp in. They had a 4-game series in San Diego. They scored 2 runs, won the game 2-1, and then were shut out 3 times. For the Dodgers, they come into this one with a 3-game winning streak, having gotten rid of that 5-game losing streak, and they give the ball to Clayton Kershaw. Clayton, as always, seems to pitch exceptionally well at Dodger Stadium, but the Dodgers never get him any runs. However, the Brewers have not been scoring a lot of runs, and it could be a dandy Narveson going against Kershaw in Game 1. We'll get to the ball game. We'll have it all coming up for you right after this. any time of the day. And by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you, wherever you may be. We're at Dodger Stadium breaking the seal on the series with the Milwaukee Brewers, followed by the Colorado Rockies on the weekend. Last year, they each won 2 of 3 in the other's ballpark. The Brewers came here to win the 2, and the Dodgers went to Milwaukee to win the 2. Tonight, Clayton Kershaw against Chris Naverson for the Dodgers, riding the crest of what they hope will continue to be a winning streak. They've won 3 in a row. They have beaten Milwaukee 10 of the last 14 times, but as we said, they were 2-1 the wrong way here at Dodger Stadium last year. So the Dodgers hosting the Brewers for 3, and out on the mound, taking a look now first of all at the Milwaukee lineup. Ricky Weeks starts out at second base. Carlos Gomez in center field. Ryan Braun in left. Prince Fielder hits cleanup at first base. Casey McGee at third. Corey Hart in right field. Greg Zaun, the catcher. Alcides Escobar is the shortstop. Chris Naverson is on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, the 22-year-old left-hander Clayton Kershaw, who is certainly becoming a veteran now. He's had 58 career appearances. This would be his 57th start. He is 1-1 with a great earned run average of 3, but just 1-1. He's also 1-1 against Milwaukee. He averages at least a strikeout per inning against the Brewers. However, 0-1 here, and his biggest problem, the Dodgers' inability to get him any runs. Since August the 1st of last year, he's received less than 1.5 runs of support per 9 innings in 8 starts at Dodger Stadium. That's the lowest mark in the major league. And despite the fact his earned run average here is 2.1, he has gone 1-3 in those last 8. So for Kershaw, who bowed 2-0 in his last start, turns the page, starts anew, and Ricky Weeks will start it off. Weeks, the second baseman, has been hit by pitch 5 times already this year. Runs well. He has 8 infield singles. So Weeks, followed by Gomez and then Braun. Kershaw into the windup, and the left-hander ready and delivers a strike at the knees, and the count 0-1. Ricky Weeks has been striking out a lot. In fact, he has struck out 13 times in his last 26 at-bats. The strike one pitch on the way is a breaking ball strike, and so Ricky's in a hole 0-2. He has already struck out 33 times. So Kershaw, a strikeout pitcher, has jumped out in front of Ricky Weeks. Clayton looks in, getting a sign from Russell Martin. Back he comes, and the pitch is high and inside, ball 1. Ricky Weeks playing on the right side of the infield with Prince Fielder, and they have been buddies a long time. They go back to when Prince was only 11 years old. The 1-2 pitch on the way is taken low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ricky went to school at Southern University, and he was an outstanding college baseball player. He won the 2003 Dick Hauser Award as the best college baseball player of the year. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way, and Ricky holds up. It's high, ball 3, 3-2. So Ricky Weeks waiting at the plate. They always talked about his quick hands, comparing him to Gary Sheffield. 3-2 pitch on the way. Ricky takes low, ball 4. So for Clayton Kershaw, he is a strikeout pitcher who walks too many. And we'll check the Dodgers defensively back of him. Loney, DeWitt, Carroll, and Blake, Johnson, Kemp, and Ethier, and Russell Martin handling Kershaw. Kershaw this year is averaging 10 strikeouts every 9 innings, but he is walking just about 7 batters every 9. And right now, he'll face Carlos Gomez. Gomez, the center fielder, hitting .269, 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in. He has 2 bunt singles this year, so the infielders have to watch him as he holds up on a fastball high. Ball 1, 1-0. So Gomez backing out, looking down at third to Brad Fisher to see if there might be a play on. Ricky Weeks over at first base, just starting out tonight. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way to the right-hand hitter, slice foul off to the right, out of play. Carlos Gomez, a big fella, he's 6'4", 200-pounder who was drafted by the Mets about 8 years ago. Does not speak very much English, even though he's played for the Mets and the Twins and the Brewers. He's from Santiago in the Dominican Republic. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Here comes Kershaw, big overhand curveball, swung on and missed. 1-2 the count. One of the things Gomez did 2 years ago when he was in spring training with the Mets, he had a 37-inch vertical leap. That would be good for an NBA prospect. Right-hand hitter waiting. A lot of weight on that back foot. And the 1-2 pitch on the way is pulled foul outside of third down the line. Still 1-2. We're watching to see if Gomez does what seemed to be his trademark for a while. He used to kiss his bat. We're watching to see, but he hasn't done it yet. He started doing it about 10 years ago. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Carlos Gomez. Very busy hands, and a throw to first. Ricky Weeks over at first base. A threat to run, has stolen 2 out of 3. So Ricky held on by James Loney. Milwaukee struggling of late. They come in here having lost 8 of the last 10. The 1-2 pitch on the way is a soft line drive over the glove of Casey Blake into left field. And for a base hit, Weeks goes to second. So Gomez didn't hit it hard, but you don't have to. And you have runners at first and second, nobody out. And Brian Braun coming up. Ryan Braun, among other things, in his career, and it's just a short one in the National League, coming to Dodger Stadium, he's 11 for 21, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, and brings a .354 batting average with 5 home runs and 20 runs batted in. So here is Braun, right-hand batter, waiting at the plate. And Kershaw in a first inning jam, and his fastball is swung on and missed. 0-1. Ryan Braun, a local boy, he was born in Mission Hills, lives in Granada Hills, went to the University of Miami. His mom is a brewer, seriously. She makes beer for Anheuser-Busch, the last we heard. Ryan back up to the plate and waiting. 0-1 the count. Kershaw, look at the runners, back he comes and misses away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan Braun, and you think of Braun, you think of home runs, he has 5. You think of RBIs, he has 20. But he is 6 for 6 in stolen bases. And how about this? He has stolen third base 3 times. So he is a multi-talented young player. 27 years old come November. Right-hand hitter, and the next pitch is swung on and missed. And the count 1-2 to Ryan Braun. For Milwaukee, trying to get their offense in gear, in their last 6 games, they've lost 5 of the 6. The team for Ken Maka hitting .209. They've scored a total of 10 runs in 6 games, and they've struck out averaging about 9 times a game. So for the moment, they're hurting. 1-2 the count to Ryan Braun with Prince Fielder on deck. Kershaw's fastball is swung on and missed, and down goes Braun. So Kershaw walks a batter, gives up a base hit, then strikes out the number 3 hitter, and Prince Fielder coming up. Prince Fielder has a serious bone bruise in the palm of his left hand, his top hand. That's the hand that turns over really to give him power. So when you look at his numbers, you have to believe, wait a minute, something's wrong. Well, it is that left hand. He's hitting .234 with only 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in. He's had 1 multi-RBI game so far this year, and the pitch to him is high and away, ball one. He hit a dreadful slump where he went 1 for 15 and 2 for 20, and he's not giving up there at the plate, nor would you expect him to. He leads the league. He's been hit by pitch 7 times at 5'11" and about 260. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Kershaw's fastball inside under the hands. 2-0 the count. Interesting, last year, despite having the major's second leading home run hitter, Prince Fielder, and Ryan Braun, the Brewers were out-homered during the regular year. Fielder, big left-hand batter. Here comes Kershaw. Fastball swung on and missed. 2-1 the count. So Clayton Kershaw had a big D in Texas, working on Prince Fielder, who was born in Ontario, went to school at Oak Valley High School in Melbourne, Florida. His dad, of course, Cecil Fielder, had a great major league career. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. 2-2 the count to Prince Fielder. Fielder is not begging off, even though he does have that sore left hand. He's appeared in all 26 games. 2 for his last 20. He's played in 211 consecutive games. So 2-2 the count with 2 on, 1 out, first inning. Kershaw deals, swung on and missed. Actually foul tipped, and Martin held on to it. So Kershaw strikes out Braun and Fielder, throwing hard with fastballs at 93. And now the batter is Casey McGee. McGee, who spells that name McGehee. He's out of Santa Cruz, went to school at Fresno State. He is really a pull hitter, and he is an extremely successful hitter when he pulls the ball. So let's see what the right-hand batter does. Fastball away, ball one. Among all the hitters in the league, they had at least 300 at-bats. Last year, when he pulled the ball, he hit over 500. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Kershaw out of a stretch. A look at the runners. They both go, and the pitch, a little ground ball. Going back to get it is Blake DeWitt to make the play. With the runners going and a right-hand batter, DeWitt was going to cover second, so Blake had to go back and get it. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left, and at the end of half an inning, Brewers nothing, Dodgers coming up. Here's the Dodger lineup with Reed Johnson starting off. Then the familiar names of Martin, Ethier, Kemp, and Loney, Blake, DeWitt, Carroll, and Kershaw. Reed Johnson hitting .295, facing the left-hander Chris Narverson out of Englewood, Colorado. And the big left-hander ready in deals gets a strike, and the count 0-1. Narverson, 28 years old, lives in Wilmington, North Carolina. Chris looks down the barrel to get his sign. He's had a lot of struggles, and he spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. Pitch on the hand, swung on and missed. He had a lot of injuries while riding the buses starting in 2000. Came up very briefly 4 years ago with the Cardinals for a couple of games, and then finally last year. So he has really paid his dues. The strike two pitch to Reed Johnson, and the right-hand hitter grounds it foul outside of third. I have a problem, and I hope you will understand and bear with me. One of the finest men we have ever met, and a great broadcaster. He's in the Hall of Fame. Ernie Harwell, the voice of the Tigers for so many years, who started with the Dodgers broadcasting in 1948, passed away today. The strike two pitch is outside, ball one. But there's a great story about Ernie, who came to the Dodgers in 1948 and 49. Then he went to the Giants, and then he was with the Detroit Tigers from 1960 to 1991, and from 1993 through 2002. The pitch to Reed Johnson is down and away. So I really want to salute him, and at the same time I don't want to get in the way of the ball game. So see if we can possibly do both. 2-2 the count to Ernie Johnson. Before Ernie Harwell ever made it to the big leagues, he established a record as Reed hits it foul down the line. What happened was in 1948, the Dodgers were in Pittsburgh on an off day. Red Barber was going to play golf at the Pittsburgh Field Club, and instead he hemorrhaged and was rushed to an emergency hospital. And the Dodgers had one announcer, a good one by the name of Connie Desmond. But one announcer with a full season ahead is pretty tough. 2-2 pitch is high, ball three. Now Branch Rickey, who ran the Brooklyn Dodgers, had a friend by the name of Arthur Mann, who ran the Atlanta Crackers in the Sally League. So Branch Rickey called Arthur Mann and said, "I need your announcer." And Arthur Mann said, "I need a catcher." Here's the 3-2 pitch coming up to Reed Johnson. Fastball lifted back of first, down the line. A trio of Brewers. It'll be the right fielder Corey Hart making the play, and we have one out. So a deal was set up. The Dodgers sent a catcher, Clint Dapper, to Atlanta, and the Atlanta club sent Ernie Harwell to the Brooklyn Dodgers. So Ernie was the first and only baseball broadcaster to be involved in a trade. He was such a lovely man. Everybody loved Ernie. And eventually, he just stole the hearts of everybody in Detroit and the state of Michigan, and for that matter, anybody who loved baseball. Russell Martin takes high, ball one, 1-0. Ernie was blessed. I mean, really blessed. He lived to be 91. And he was married for over 67 years to the same lady by the name of Lulu. There's a ground ball to short. Up to get it is Escobar. Takes care of Martin. So we have two down in the first inning. Well, Ernie passed away just about 2 hours ago or thereabouts. I never could say God bless you to Ernie, because God had blessed him indeed. And from what I heard the last time I talked to him a couple of weeks ago, he was ready to go. He was totally and completely at peace. You and I should be that lucky. So anyway, we say goodbye to Ernie today. Detroit's in Minnesota. I wish they had been home, but they weren't. And we have lost a very dear, gentle soul, Ernie Harwell. Okay, 2 out, first inning, no score. Andre Ethier, one-man gang up there, swings, doesn't get it, and the count 0-1. Andre, in his last couple of games, 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in, and against left-handers, hitting .400. 2 out, first inning, no score. The Brewers and the Dodgers Strike one pitch on the way as a fastball lifted to shallow left center, and that ball has a chance to drop, only to have Carlos Gomez catch up to it and make the catch. So here a fly ball to shallow center. Gomez gathers it in, and at the end of an inning, no score. Second inning, no score in the ball game. The Brewers and the Dodgers. And for Milwaukee, it'll be Corey Hart, Jeff Zahn, and Alcides Escobar. Corey Hart out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Big guy, 6'6", 215 pounds. Right-hand batter. Kershaw's first pitch inside, ball one. 1-0 the count. 2 years ago, Corey Hart and Brandon Phillips of the Reds accomplished something that had not been done since Guerrero did it 5 years before that. Hart takes low ball two. He had 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases, and a 20-game hitting streak. That year, he had 91 runs batted in. 2-0 pitch on the way, a foul ball that takes the mask right off of the head of Russell Martin. 2-1 the count. So we're in the second inning, no score. Corey says his father, Johnny, was the best softball player ever, so he would spend his grown-up days watching his dad play and trying to copy his swing. Check swing foul into the crowd off to the right. 2-2 the count. We have a fine crowd on hand tonight, fleece blanket night, and the good folks are here. And at 6'6", you might expect, Hart, his favorite sport was basketball. 2-2 pitch is a bounce curveball that takes a bite out of Martin before going all the way to the backstop. 3-2 the count to Corey Hart. It was in spring training this year that Corey Hart decided to wear contacts. He'd been diagnosed with less than 20/20 vision. He then ordered some prescription sports glasses to wear instead of the contacts. He backs away on ball 4. So Kershaw has balanced his books. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. As we mentioned, he's averaging 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's good. He's averaging almost 7 walks per 9 innings. That's bad. And the batter now is Jeff Zahn. So Jeff Zahn, who is somewhat of a surprise, Greg, from Glendale. He's 38 years old. In fact, 39 on the 14th of April. That's pretty old to be a regular catcher. He takes a strike. I think a lot of people thought that Greg Zahn was going to be a backup catcher for the last few years, but he rolls right along.
Rick Dempsey is his uncle, so there's definitely a Dodger connection. He went to St. Francis High School over in Glendale. So Greg at the plate, hard at first, and the next pitch low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Greg has the athletic background. His mom was formerly the women's golf coach at USC. When Greg was about 14 years old, he was the bullpen catcher for the Toledo Mud Hens. The 1-1 pitch on the way hits him on the hand, I believe. So Zahn hit by the pitch, and he goes down to first. Corey Hart advances to second, and with nobody out, Alcides Escobar coming up. It was a fastball inside, and it nailed him. The Greg Zahn hit by the pitch, and that brings up Alcides Escobar. Greg making a fist with the left hand. Escobar checking in with 2 on, nobody out, and Kershaw in a jam now. 2 walks and a hit batter so far, and we're only in the 2nd inning. Escobar's from Venezuela, and he has a nickname in Venezuela which tells you what they think of him. He promptly bangs it into left field, base hit. Here's Hart around third. Up with it is Johnson. The throw to the plate, not in time. And just like that, the Brewers take a 1-0 lead as Escobar singles to left. Escobar has a nickname in Venezuela. The English translation is the next one. They figure that he belongs as a shortstop from Venezuela that produced Luis Aparicio, then Baby Concepcion, Ozzie Guillen, Omar Vizquel, and then his nickname, the next one. Well, here he is. It's 1-0 Brewers, and now Chris Narveson coming up in what the Dodgers feel certainly is a sure sacrifice situation. 1-0 Brewers. Kershaw out of a stretch, checks the runners. Narveson tries to bunt and misses, and the count no balls and 1 strike. In fact, check, he did not bunt at it, took it, and it was a little bit out of the zone, so we'll make it 1 ball and no strikes. Narveson trying to move his men along. Greg Zahn at second, Escobar at first, nobody out. Out of a stretch goes Kershaw. Narveson pulls the bat back and takes a strike. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. How has Chris handled the bat? He's only had 2 at-bats, struck out 1 of 2. Coming down from the third base coaching box, Brad Fisher telling Narveson what Ken Maka intends to do, what he would like to do, and we'll see whether he's successful. So Zahn at second, Escobar at first, nobody out, 1 in, and the Brewers lead 1-0. The 1-1 pitch on the way is fouled off, and the count 1-2. Narveson, another look down to Brad Fisher. You realize the Brewers scoring a run. They had 2 runs in 4 games in San Diego. They were shut out 3 times. The only game where they scored the 2, they won 2-1. Narveson pulls the bat back, and the pitch low and inside, 2-2. Last year, it took 83 games for the Brewers to be shut out 4 times. They've done it in 25 this year. The Dodgers last year took 78 games to be shut out 4 times. And of course, they're hurting in that department as well. Here's the 2-2 pitch, strike 3 calls. So Narveson never did make contact. And down he goes. That's the first out. It is also the 3rd strikeout for Clayton Kershaw. 1-0 in favor of the Brewers. 2 on, 1 out in the second. And here's Ricky Weeks. Ricky again with 8 infield heat, so he runs very, very well. Put a lot of pressure on the infield. Ricky, right-hand batter. born in Daytona Beach, lives in Florida, Altamonte Springs, and the first pitch of the right-hand batter grounded foul outside of third down the line, and the count 0-1. We mentioned that Ricky Weeks and Prince Fielder, very close pals, they were teammates way back in an AUU baseball team in Orlando. Little kids playing first and second, and here they are in the big leagues side by side. 0-1 the count to Ricky, and the next pitch he just does hold up, and we have a 1-ball 1-strike. Ricky has a brother, Jamil, who has signed a letter of intent to play second base for the University of Miami. So Weeks waiting, waggling that bat, swings, lines it to left, base hit. Johnson charges it, and they will hold up Zahn, and the bases are loaded. So the first inning, Clayton Kershaw struck out 2, but now he is really struggling here in the second inning, and the batter will be Carlos Gomez. So in the inning, Corey Hart walked. Greg Zahn was hit by a pitch. Escobar singled home hard. Narveson struck out, only to have Weeks single to load the bases. And Carlos Gomez will be coming up. And Rick Honeycutt is out to the mound, trying to see if he can settle young Kershaw down. Carlos Gomez, we've already seen that he can run like the wind on that fly ball hit by Andre Ethier. Carlos able to catch up to it in a hurry. He singled to left field in the first inning. When he was with the Chicago White Sox 2 years ago, Carlos hit for the cycle. Third youngest player in Major League history to do that, behind Cesar Cedeno and Alex Rodriguez. He does not have a slam in his young career. He hit for the cycle when he was playing for Minnesota. And he checks in now, bases loaded, 1 out, 1-0 Brewers, trying to open up the game here in the second inning. Kershaw delivers, and the fastball is fouled back, and the count 0-1. So Kershaw, so far tonight, has walked 2, hit a batter, and given up 3 hits and a run, while striking out 3. Clayton making a lot of pitches already, and the strike 1 pitch coming up. Instead, he thinks better of it and backs off the rubber. No balls and 1 strike. Carlos Gomez waiting at the plate. Kershaw deals, and it's lifted foul out of play. He lost his bat, went all the way to the backstop. 0-2 the count, and Carlos takes the long walk back to get it. Gomez, in going after the first pitch, that just follows his history. He has swung at the first pitch close to 50% of the time. Last year, he only hit .204 with 2 home runs against left-handers, 2 home runs, and a .242 average against right-handers. So the right-hand batter waiting with the bases loaded, 1 out, 1-0 Brewers, top of the second inning. The next pitch is a breaking ball fouled at the plate, and the count remains 0-2. Gomez, in his young career, came into this season with a career batting average of .248 and only 12 home runs. But he runs well. He had 64 stolen bases in the minor leagues. 0-2 the count. Kershaw out of a stretch. Here he comes, and it's swung on late and fouled back on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. So out on the lines, Zahn, Escobar, and Weeks. Kershaw surrounded by assassins here. 1-0 Brewers, second inning. Clayton a high set, ready and delivers. Curve in the dirt, blocked nicely by Martin. That thing easily could have gotten away. 1-2 the count. When Gomez was with Minnesota, he must have been quite an interview, because a Minnesota sports writer said his Dominican accent makes him sound like a mafia witness in the Godfather's game. He hits another one foul out of play, and it's still 1-2. They tell me that Carlos is very colorful, and especially in his dress. He likes a lot of different colors, different colored shoes, and has a lot of shoes. Some of his teammates say he might have 100 pair. Whatever gets you through the night. 1-2 the count to Carlos Gomez with the bases loaded, one out, and he is hit by the pitch. So everybody moves up 90 feet, and the Brewers lead 2-0. So Kershaw hits his second man. So Zahn, who had been hit, brings home the run. Escobar goes to third, Weeks to second, Gomez to first, and now Kershaw is really faced with a challenge in Ryan Braun. Braun is 3 for 9 against him in the past. He did strike out in the first inning, but he's up there now with a chance to really get the Brewers out on the boards. He has 2 grand slams in his career. Ryan, right-hand batter waiting, and a change. Not much of a break to call it a curveball, and it just stayed up for ball 1. 1-0. So Kershaw is struggling, no doubt about that. 1 ball and no strikes to Ryan Braun, the Rookie of the Year back in 2007. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way, and Kershaw delivers, fastball swung on and missed. You want to know what kind of an odd night it is? Kershaw has hit Zahn and Gomez in the second inning. Until tonight, he had hit 3 batters in his career of well over 300 innings, and he's hit 2 in this inning alone. So he's as wild as we've seen him. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ryan Braun. The 1-1 pitch all the way to the backstop, but the runners are going to hold. It came right back as Martin hustled back to the track to get it. So for Clayton Kershaw, he not only can't find the strike zone, that time he couldn't even find Russell Martin's mitt. So 2-1 to count to Ryan Braun. Gomez at first, Weeks at second, Escobar at third. This will be the 51st pitch made by Clayton Kershaw, and we're only in the second inning. Rick Honeycutt is really sweating him out. Now the 2-1 pitch coming up. Fastball grounded just foul over third and over the head of Escobar as he came down the line. And Ryan Braun will have to get another bat. 2-2. When Ryan Braun was at Granada Hills High School, he didn't hit the ball that hard, but he did have 25 home runs to break a school's home run record. Ryan had a partial academic scholarship to go to the University of Miami. He had to make the move from shortstop to third base, and he had a lot of trouble at third. 3 years ago, playing third base, he made 26 errors. So they moved him to the outfield. He is still not considered a good outfielder, but he is learning. All right, 2-2 the count to Ryan. Kershaw delivers, and that's going to be whacked down the left field line. It's going to land fair. Johnson's going to have to chase it. In comes Escobar. Here comes Weeks. Right back of him comes Gomez. So Ryan Braun drives in 3, and the Milwaukee Brewers have hung a high 5 on the scoreboard and lead 5-0. So Braun doubles in 3. 5 runs, 4 hits for the Brewers. The Dodgers now have to get somebody up, and Ramon Ortiz jumps up in the Dodger bullpen. So that means Braun has 11 RBIs here at Dodger Stadium in his young career. We told you he was hitting .500, and now he doubles in 3. And now here is Prince Fielder, who struck out in the first inning. Brewers 5, Dodgers nothing. Top of the second inning. Now the next one misses. So for Clayton Kershaw, it is one of those nights. He has now made 54 pitches. He has hit a couple. He has been all over the lot. And he has thrown all the one to the backstop. 2-0 the count. Kershaw looks back at Braun. Now delivers, and it's fouled over the screen into the lower deck on a fastball. There was a gentleman in the seats directly behind home plate. He just turned around. The foul ball came right back to him. And the good-natured crowd roars, approves, and he just sits quietly. Never left his chair. All right, Fielder waiting. 2-1 the count. The next pitch is a strike at the knees. 2-2 the count to Prince. Fielder, as we said, leads the National League in hit by pitches. He's been hit 7 times. So it's an upset that Kershaw has hit 2 in the inning and not Fielder. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the next pitch is wailed on to deep right center field. Back goes Ethier. It is in the pavilion, and it is 7-0 in favor of the Brewers here in the second inning. So sore left hand or no, Prince Fielder wails on one, his 3rd home run of the year, and for Fielder picking up 2 RBIs along with it, he now has 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in, and it was a fastball, and he got all 260 pounds back of that swing and drove it out of sight. So the Dodgers are buried 7-0 in the second inning, and Joe Torre making his way out to the mound. Ramon Ortiz down in the bullpen will be called in, and a very much shaken up Clayton Kershaw driven to cover. Though at 22, he knows the ups and the downs already in his career, and we'll be back. He had allowed 6 earned runs. Tonight, he allows 7 earned runs in an inning and a third. He made a total of 57 pitches and was as wild as he has been all year. So Kershaw, averaging 10 strikeouts, had 2 strikeouts in the first inning, averaging almost 7 walks. He had a walk in the first inning, a walk in the second inning, and then hit 2 batters, gave up 2 singles, a bases loaded double, and then the 2-run home run by Fielder. So 7-0 Brewers. Ramon Ortiz, who pitched so well last time out, albeit against the Pirates, he struck out 5. So we will see how he goes now as he faces Casey McGee, who is the 9th batter to come up. and he swings, hits one back to the box. Ortiz picks it up and throws him out. That, however, is only the second out of the inning. So Corey Hart, who led off the second inning with a walk, will now be coming up. Corey walked, took second on a hit batter, came home on the base hit by Escobar. So Corey checking in. Interesting how quiet the Brewers were in San Diego. Remember, in 4 games, they were shut out 3 of the 4. And boy, did they explode in a hurry here. 7 runs on 5 hits. Actually 4 hits along with a walk, 2 hit batters. Hart promptly fouls the next pitch back. And the count 0-2 to Corey. Tomorrow night, Doug Davis and Chad Billingsley in the pitch in at the knuckles. Doug Davis, who is scheduled to pitch the left-hander's earned run average, is 8.8. So we'll see how Billingsley can handle that challenge tomorrow evening. The 1-2 pitch is off the plate, and the count 2-2. Billingsley, who did well his last time out, his earned run average is 4.8. But that's tomorrow. 2-2 the count to Corey Hart. He swings, lifts one foul off to the right out of play, back into the crowd. Dodgers are down 7-0, but it is interesting, in 9 of the Brewers' past 10 games, the pitching staff has allowed 59 runs. That's an average per game of almost 7. Chris Iverson staked now. Iverson with this big lead, but the bullpen's earned run average is over 5, so no lead is secure as Hart promptly bangs one into left field for a base hit. Hit number 1 off Ramon Ortiz. Hit number 6 for the Brewers, and the batter now will be Greg Zaun. Greg Zaun, a switch hitter, but he was actually a switch swinger for a while. Greg was 0 for 21. He finally got 4 hits batting right-handed. He's done reasonably well hitting left-handed, and he takes a strike. 0-1 the count to Greg Zaun. Greg, for years, was the good humor man. I mean, everybody loved to see Greg, including his teammates, having fun. He drives one to right. If it stays fair, it's going to go right down the line and gone. Home run. It is 9-0 Brewers. The Dodgers could have gone to the Lakers game. 9 runs on a 2-run home run by Greg Zaun. So the local boys come back. Ryan Braun clears the bases with a double. Another local boy, Greg Zaun, hits a 2-run home run. And it is 9-0 Milwaukee. So Greg Zaun hits it left-handed. That's his first home run of the year. He gets 5s. So a lot of smiles in the Milwaukee dugout. And the pitch now in the dirt to Escobar. 1 ball and no strikes. The Brewers had J.J. Hardy, remember, and they dealt him away. They're so high on Escobar. They had a look at him in 08 and 09, but now they figure he is their man. They signed him when he was 16 years old. The 1-1 pitch is low. Escobar 6'1", 180, great range, tremendous arm. The number 1 prospect in the Brewers farm system. He pokes one foul out of play. He was voted the Southern League's most exciting player. He stole 42 last year for Nashville, so he has a tremendous amount of ability. Now the next one fouled away. J.J. Hardy, as we look at a very content Prince fielder. J.J. Hardy and Escobar were very close. And Hardy started passing down things to the kid infielder. Pitch is a check swing, no swing. Hardy just said, I don't know who he is or where he plays, but I like him. So he'd hand him down bats and batting gloves, fielding gloves. He still uses a glove with the name J.J. Hardy stitched into the thumb. And the next pitch, foul back, still 3-2. In December of last year, Escobar won the Venezuelan League batting title. He hit .393. Youngster pops one up, angling out is Blake DeWitt, and puts it away. So the Brewers scored 9 in the second inning, 7 at the expense of Clayton Kershaw, 2 against Ortiz, and it's 9-0 Milwaukee. For 9 in the second inning, lead the Dodgers 9-0. That is not the most runs in an inning scored by the Brewers this early either. They not only had a bases clearing double by Ryan Braun to score the 9, they scored 10 in one inning earlier this year against the Washington Nationals. They're the top hitting club certainly in the National League in a lot of areas. And the first pitch now to Matt Kemp, foul back, and the count 0-1. The Brewers also saw a lot of pitches. Kershaw made 35 pitches in the inning. Ortiz made 18. So together they made 53 pitches in the top of the second inning. Strike one pitch to Matt Kemp is taken low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Matt hitting .288, 7 home runs, 20 runs batted in. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way, and that swung on a mile-high fly ball. They're very playable. Carlos Gomez comes over, waits, and makes the catch for the out. So 1 away in the second inning. Just take a look at what's happening for the next 5 games. Tomorrow night with Milwaukee, and that will be Davis and Billingsley. Then Thursday night Milwaukee, and that will be Dave Bush and John Eli. And then Jim Tracy and the Colorado Rockies will be in Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, and the Dodgers then go out on the road to Arizona and San Diego. James Loney checks in at the plate. 1 out, second inning, 9-0 Brewers. And the first pitch to James is taken for a strike. 0-1 the count. James Loney right up there at top in the National League hitting leaders. along with Andre Ethier, of course. The next pitch, good breaking ball for a strike. 0-2. Loney tied for second in hits, tied for fifth with 9 doubles. He's hitting .500 here at Dodger Stadium, and he's had 12 multi-hit games already. He takes in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count to James Loney. Dodgers, who have done one offensively, but have a long way to go tonight. 9-0 Milwaukee. The 1-2 pitch, the left-hander Naverson delivers. Fastball is swung on and missed, and down goes Loney. Dodgers, by the way, are 3-5 against left-hand starters. So with 2 down, Casey Blake coming up. Left-handed Narveson delivers, and the fastball high and away. Ball 1, 1-0. It was only a few years ago that Chris Narveson was considered the number 2 prospect in the St. Louis Cardinal organization, as Blake fouls it away. They expected a great deal from him and never quite materialized. He came up in 06, was in 5 games, and went right back down to the minors. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way, and that's low at the ankles. Ball 2, 2-1. Narveson had a scholarship to Wake Forest, but instead signed with the Cardinals. Next pitch is down and away. Ball 3, 3-1. He's bounced around. 6 years ago, Larry Walker was sent to the Cardinals, and among those coming over was Narveson. Ground ball to short. Escobar high throw, but fielded does a toe dance, and Blake is out, and so are the Dodgers. 6 in a row retired by Narveson, and at the end of 2, Brewers 9, Dodgers nothing. Leading the Dodgers 9-0. Chris Narveson, then Ricky Weeks, and Carlos Gomez in that order. Narveson couldn't bunt in the 2nd inning, but it didn't make any difference when they scored the 9. He fouls a pitch away. 0-1 the count to Chris. He gives you nice strike zone. Left-hand batter, 6'3", 205-pounder, 29 years old in December. Takes 1 low, 1 ball, and 1 strike. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. That wrinkles a little high. Little slider, ball 2, 2-1. Now the 2-1 pitch. Narveson swings, pops it up. Angling out is Carroll, but Reed Johnson is right there and makes the catch. So 1 away, and the batter Ricky Weeks. You know, a reminder, enjoy the excitement of Viva Los Dodgers every Sunday with the next Fiesta scheduled for this Sunday, presented by State Farm and Bud Light. The party begins at 11 a.m., includes a pregame concert by Luz Rios. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. Boy, the Dodgers got the Brewers on the wrong night. If you subtracted those 4 games where the Brewers absolutely mangled the Pittsburgh Pirates, you have a better look at the ball club. Weeks takes a pitch low, ball 1. Remember, they beat the Pirates 8-0, 8-1, 20-0, and 17-3. But if you pull those 4 games away, you would look at the Brewers and find out, among other things, that they are averaging less in runs scored, averaging about 3.5 runs, which is 31% below the average, but not tonight. Little comeback of the Ortiz, and that'll be good for the second out. And the batter will be Carlos Gomez.
Number 27, Carlos Gomez.
When the Brewers came here, they were 5th overall in runs scored in the league, 4th in home runs, 3rd in slugging, and Ken Macha's club has absolutely just taken the wheels right off the Dodger wagon tonight. Ortiz in relief of Clayton Kershaw. Fastball on a half swing for a strike, and the count 0-1. Interesting too how the Brewers do so well on the road. They're averaging better than 5.5 runs a game on the road. And on the road, they're first in on base percentage, first in slugging percentage, and I mean in the major leagues. Little fly ball to right field. Ethier is there waiting, puts it away. So Ortiz restores some order, but it's a question of whether it's too late. We'll see at the end of 2.5 innings. 9-0 Milwaukee. In favor of Milwaukee, Blake DeWitt, Jamie Carroll, and then the pitcher Ramon Ortiz. Charlie Hager is down in the Dodger bullpen, knuckling down, and Chris Naverson delivers a fastball in for a strike, and the count 0-1. So DeWitt, Carroll, and then we'll see about Ortiz. Blake, coming off a 4-for-4 game the other day, takes a breaking ball down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Big curveball gets the inside corner. 1-2 the count. So Blake DeWitt hitting .297 with 8 runs batted in. Narveson ready over the top, and it's down and away. It's chased and missed, and down goes DeWitt as the slider nails him. One away. You know, you can join the Dodgers Friday for 60s night, and the first 20,000 fans in attendance take home a Dodger coach's poster reminiscent of the days of the Rat Pack. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS today. Jamie Carroll looks at an off-speed pitch, and that's in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Carroll, and we're waiting to see who's going to come out in the on-deck circle. Strike one pitch on the way, and that's bounced up there. 1 ball and 1 strike. If you joined us late and you wonder what happened, well, what happened was the Brewers scored 9 times in the second inning. They saw 53 pitches. Prince Fielder hit a 2-run home run. Greg Zaun hit a 2-run home run, and Ryan Braun doubled 3 home. Narveson's 2-1 pitch on the way, and that's a little low. Ramon Ortiz comes out on deck to take his at-bat. So for Charlie Hager, just trying to stay a little sharp. 3-2 the count. Ramon waiting patiently on the plate. Reminds us to tell you that Nick Green is in the on-deck circle, then went back to the dugout, and Green was brought up to be with the Dodgers. There you can see him loosening up. Rafael Furcal going on the DL. So Nick, who played for the Red Sox last year, played very well in spring training, and he's now with the club. 3-2 pitch is swung on, ground ball, base hit into right field. So after retiring 7 in a row, there's a base hit to right by Jamie Carroll, and Nick Green will now come up to bat for Ramon Ortiz. So for the Dodgers, being shelled down 9-0, it's time to make the game work for them. So that means give Green an at bat, bring Charlie Hager in, etc. The Green hitting for Ortiz. Nick Green was born in Pensacola, Florida. He lives in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and was originally drafted by the Braves 11 years ago out of DeKalb Junior College. Nick loved to play basketball much more so than baseball, and he had a good reason. Big swing and a miss, 0-1. Nick said, when I play basketball, I drive down the court, I try to score. If I miss the shot, I run back, and I'm going to get the ball again, and I'll come right back and take another shot. He said, in baseball, I strike out. I might have to wait 45 minutes at least before I get another at-bat. Here's the strike one pitch to Nick, and that's foul back, so he's in a hole, 0-2. He's been at Albuquerque after, as we said, a solid spring training. Interesting, during the off year, he's a Georgia boy, and he plays pickup basketball games in a league organized by John Smoltz. 0-2 the count to Nick. Narveson delivers, and that's foul back. And who are some of the athletes who play basketball in that John Smoltz league? Well, you have people like Brian McCann and Jeff Francoeur, Canyon Sturz, Andrew Jones, Peerless Price of the NFL, John Barry of the NBA. Be a lot of fun watching them play, huh? 0-2 the count to Nick Green. Narveson's breaking ball is swung on and missed, and that will do it for Nick. Third strikeout for Narveson. And with 2 down in the third inning, Reed Johnson coming up. Reed Johnson fouled out to right field. Corey Hart coming across the line to handle his fly ball. Reed batting .289. He has always done well, a career .300 hitter against left-hand pitching. Narveson ready and deals. Fastball lifted into shallow center. Escobar backs out, calling all the way, and makes the catch for the out. So Johnson didn't hang around, pops it up for the Dodgers. No run, a base hit, and that's it. At the end of 3, 9-0 Milwaukee. Internet and home phone delivered over an advanced fiber optic network. From Time Warner Cable, call 888-TW-CABLE. And by Farmer John, get the hot dog you eat at the game at home. Fourth inning with the Brewers holding on to a 9-0 lead, and the Dodgers bring in Charlie Hager to be their third pitcher after 3 innings. So for Hager, an opportunity to get some feel and touch to the knuckleball, and we will see how he goes. The Dodgers, by the way, the last time they gave up 9 runs in an inning was June the 11th, 2002. Mercifully, that was on the road at Tampa Bay. The all-time Los Angeles Dodger record, they allowed 11 runs in an inning here against the St. Louis Cardinals, and that was back in 1999. So Charlie Hager working now on Braun, Fielder, and McGee. Breaking ball, strike 1-1. There were a lot of troubles atop the Milwaukee lineup. Ricky Weeks was struggling. Carlos Gomez was struggling. So Ryan Braun was not driving in a lot of runs. In fact, you may remember there was a game where Milwaukee beat Pittsburgh 20-0. And 10 games after that, Braun still had the same number of RBIs that he had in that game, 20. But tonight, with Weeks getting aboard with a base hit, Gomez being hit by a pitch, Escobar had also singled earlier in the inning, and with the bases loaded, Ryan Braun doubled into the left field corner, and all 3 runners scored. So Ryan, who has done exceptionally well at Dodger Stadium, 12 for 23 in his career, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, all in this park. And the 1-2 pitch fouled away. Charlie Hager mopping up, as they say. He has a record of 0-3 and an earned run average over 7. 19 innings. He's given up 20 runs. And Braun, meanwhile, goes down and bangs one with a cap all the way to the right center field wall. And Ryan's going to keep on going. And the relay to third is not in time. So So Braun struck out in the first inning with 2 on, doubled with the bases loaded, and now triples to open up batters in the 4th inning. Boy, he just wears the Dodgers out here. His first triple of the year, went down to get a knuckleball and just slapped it into the gap. So Braun digs for third and makes it easily. And the batter, Prince Fielder, ball 1. Fielder struck out and then hit the 2-run home run after Braun had doubled in the 3. Prince hitting .240. 2-0. So we talked about Fielder with the sore left hand, and big reason why he only had 2 home runs and he struck out. But the same man came back up in the 2nd and homered. Sore hand or no. Knuckleball hit down to Blake DeWitt, holding the runner. 1 away. So Blake DeWitt short hopping and charging that ground ball. Here's Casey McGee, grounded to second, hit back to the box, 0 for 2. And ball 1. McGee hitting .292. 1-1. When the Brewers were in Washington, they scored 11 runs in their final game. They scored 36 runs in a 3-game sweep in Pittsburgh, 17 more in another game against the Pirates. So that's 64 runs, almost 13 runs a game. Then they really were shut down, averaging only 3 runs a game. And then tonight they've exploded for 9, with Braun and Fielder and Zahn leading the way. Fly ball to right field. Ethier a long way to come. He's not going to get there in time. 10-0 in favor of Milwaukee. Fly ball single for McGee. Dodgers checking the weather department. No sign of rain. So they're in it up to their hips, 10-0. Corey Hart walked and singled. 0-1 to Corey. Because he is so tall and a free swinger, a lot of people think of Richie Sexson. Remember Richie? Big, lanky, hard hitter. Struck out a lot. Little ground ball to short. Carroll the quick feed. DeWitt turns it, and the inning is over. 1 run, 2 hits, nobody left. And at the end of 3.5, Brewers 10, Dodgers 0. Which of these do you think will happen again first? A hitter winning the Triple Crown or a pitcher winning 30 games? Text your answer 86212 on your cell. Meanwhile, Russell Martin, Andre Ethier, and Matt Kemp coming up. Ball one. Martin grounded to short back in the first inning when there was a game. Fouled away. Don't forget tomorrow night, Doug Davis and Chad Billingsley. Thursday night, Dave Bush, John Eli. And then Colorado in here for the weekend. 1-1. 1-2. Russell hitting .247. He has 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in. Chris Naverson enjoying a 10-0 lead. Breaking ball hit to short. Here comes Escobar. One out in the 4th inning, and Andre Ethier coming up. Ethier flied to center. Fine running catch by Carlos Gomez out there in center. Andre hitting .360, first in the league, 9 home runs, tied for first, 26 RBIs, the leader in that area. Ball one. So Chris Naverson, who is pretty much in the minor leagues almost 10 years, has a shot at a victory tonight. 4th inning leading 10-0. One and two. Naverson came into the game with a record of 1-0. His earned run average was high, 6.6. Well, they've staked him to a great lead tonight. Two and one. One out, bases empty, 10-0 Brewers. 2-2. We were following Naverson's career. The Rockies sent Larry Walker to the Cardinals to get him. Then the Red Sox sent Young Kim to the Rockies, acquiring Naverson. Cardinals claimed him off waivers from the Red Sox, and then he signed with Milwaukee. Little ground ball up along first. Fielder is there. You have nowhere to go. 2 down. So 2 out in the 4th inning. Naverson retired 7 in a row, then gave up a base hit. Now he's retired 4 in a row. And here's Matt Kemp, who flied to center in the 2nd inning. One of the reasons Chris Naverson, with all of his talent, spent so much time in the minor leagues. It was back in August of 2001. He had Tommy John surgery. That really slowed him down. All part of the job. 2-0. 10 runs, 9 hits for the Brewers. The Dodgers, a murmur of protest. No runs, 1 hit. Waiting on deck, Casey Blake, but in front of him is James Loney. And Kemp gets a 2-out pass. So only the 2nd time tonight that Naverson will have to pitch out of a stretch. Loney struck out in the 2nd inning. James at 330 with a home run, 13 runs batted in. Fastball strike. Prince Fielder is holding the bag on Matt Kemp. But you say to yourself, down 10-0, you don't expect to see any base running, but the Brewers feel wait and see. 1-1 to count. So the Dodgers see a left-hander tonight. They see a left-hander in Doug Davis tomorrow night, and then a right-hander Thursday night, Dave Bush. 1-1. Check swing. That's going to cost a strike. 1-2. Bottom of the fourth, 10-0 in favor of the Brewers. Brewers came into the game 7.5 games behind St. Louis. The Dodgers came in 4.5 games behind San Diego. San Diego is losing 2-1 in the fifth inning. Arizona getting ready for the weekend. Dodgers will go there after the Colorado series. Arizona beat Houston 1-0 today. Two balls, two strikes. Big bouncer to Fielder. End of story. No runs, no hits, a walk and a man left. And at the end of 4, Brewers 10, Dodgers nothing. Hit by a pitch in the second inning and came home on the double by Braun. And then Greg came up with hard aboard and hit a home run. So Greg Zaun, who first came up to the big leagues in 1995 with Baltimore. This game is being televised back to Milwaukee. It's a little late now, 10:37 in Milwaukee. Bob Uecker, their marvelous play-by-play announcer, had heart surgery, and we understand is doing very well, sitting up, eating his meals. We missed him on this trip for sure. And don't you know, a knuckleball nails on. And now, wait a minute. The plate umpire's calling him back, saying, no, Greg, you were not hit. The ball hit your bat, I guess. Let's take a look. Well, it hit something. I think it might have hit, what, the knob of the bat? No. Well, he thought it hit him, but he's called back. 3-1 the count. This time a foul ball out of play down the left field line. As we mentioned earlier, Greg is the nephew of former Oriole, Dodger, Indian, and Brewer catcher Rick Dempsey. He used to wear Dempsey's number 24. Now he's wearing 9 and promptly bangs that into center. Sazon, hit by a pitch, has a 2-run home run and now a single to center. And the batter will be Alcides Escobar. 10 hits for the Brewers. Escobar with a home run, 9 runs batted in, single to left to drive in a run, and popped up. Right. One ball and 1 strike. Escobar doesn't walk very often. In fact, last year with Milwaukee, he had 125 at-bats. He walked 4 times. That's all. So if it's in the neighborhood, he's after it. 2-2. One of the things Escobar did last year is really use his speed. A shot, great stop by Casey Blake. They get 1. That's it. Wow, Escobar losing an extra base hit. Wonderful play by Casey Blake, especially considering it's 10-0. I mean, 10-0. You figured Blake's mind is in Iowa, but nope, he's on the job. So the Dodgers get the force play, and the batter will be Narveson. We were talking about Escobar using his speed. Last year he hit .375 on ground balls. That is really hard to do. That's a strike. Narveson struck out trying to bunt, fly to left, 0 for 2. They're not holding Escobar, and Narveson bangs it into left field for a base hit. So everybody in the Brewer lineup has a base hit now. And Ricky Weeks walked, singled, hit back to the box coming up. Narveson waiting to get a windbreaker. So Ricky Weeks will hang out of the plate for a minute. First and second, 1 out. The Brewers 10 runs, 11 hits. Dodgers no runs, 1 hit. So Weeks had been in a terrific slump. A walk and a single tonight. Knuckleball, strike, 0-1. Weeks over a 13-game stretch hit .207. Struck out 12 times in his last 27 at-bats. He was second in the league in strikeouts to Arizona's Justin Upton. But tonight, a walk and a base hit. 1-1 to Ricky. That's a strike. A lot of bat movement. Of course, when you see a hitter wiggle that bat that way, if you've ever watched Gary Sheffield, who was a magnificent hitter, anybody who moves the bat around, you think of Gary. course, it's one thing to wiggle that bat against a guy throwing knuckleballs. Sheffield looked like he was stirring a drink with his bat, and he could catch up to 95-mile-an-hour fastballs. 1-2 to Ricky Weeks. Ten to nothing Brewers. Chase the knuckleball way out of the zone. The rookie, who's been on a strikeout tear, goes down, and Carlos Gomez coming up. Gomez singled, hit by a pitch, and flied to right. 1 for 2. Oh and 1. Gomez 24. He'd be 25 in December. So he really just started. And promptly hits one over Loney's head foul. 0 and 2. Gomez in his 4th year in the big leagues. And the knuckleball, the dancer, as Jim Gilliam used to call it. And Charlie strikes out Weeks and Gomez. And at the end of 4 1/2, 10-0 Milwaukee. Is Lexus today. Visit Lexus.com. And by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far. 10-0 Brewers, bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Casey Blake, Blake DeWitt, and Jamie Carroll. And a big inning now for Chris Narveson. A chance to pick up a win as a starter. He has to go 5. Ball 1 to Casey, who made a wonderful play on that ball hit by Escobar, turned it into a force, took an extra base hit away from the young shortstop, and promptly bangs it up the middle. So Blake singles, that'll bring up DeWitt. You know, you can now enjoy all you can eat at the beach. Bleacher Beach is open Friday through Sunday and also includes access to a private beach party, compliments of Bud Light. And starting Friday, fans will receive a vintage Bleacher Beach t-shirt. So for tickets, visit Dodgers.com/beach or call 866-DODGERS. Here's DeWitt. struck out in the third inning, fresh off that 4-for-4 game on Sunday. 10 runs, 11 hits for the Brewers. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Fielder, a 2-run home run. Zahn, a 2-run home run. Braun, a bases clearing double. Dodgers will be at second and third on that double by Blake DeWitt. And for the Dodger fans, first time they've really been able to make any noise at all. So that's 3 hits for the Dodgers. And the batter will be Jamie Carroll. Jamie Carroll single to right field in the third inning. Charlie Hager is out on deck. Ten runs, 11 hits for the Brewers. No runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Right. Carroll batting .279. 1 for 1. And a fly ball to right field. Hard is there. Tagging is Blake. And he will come, and the throw is not in time. Down to third goes DeWitt, and that makes it 10-1 Brewers. So Jamie Carroll, a fly ball to right field to pick up a run. 10-1 Brewers. Dodgers with a runner at third, 1 out. And Charlie Hager, the batter. And ball 1. Charlie Hager has had 6 at-bats, no hits, and has struck out 5 of the 6 times. One ball, no strikes. Two and 0. So Narveson still with a very comfortable 9-1 lead. That's a strike. 2-1. Waiting on deck, Reed Johnson, the left fielder. Fastball. So Narveson now behind, 3-1. Coming down the line at third is Blake DeWitt. And that's a strike. 3-2 the count. Hager wearing number 49. If memory proves me right, that was the number worn by Charlie Huff. 3-2. Fastball lifted to left field. Ryan Braun is there. Tagging up and coming in to score is DeWitt. And that makes it Brewers 10, Dodgers 2. And for Charlie Hager, a run batted in. So 5 balls by Carroll to cash in Blake. Hager to cash in DeWitt. And it's 10-2 Brewers. 2 out, bases empty. Reed Johnson coming up. Reed has fouled out to right and popped to short. Right. 0-1. For Charlie Hager, hats off tonight. That's his first career RBI. Escobar with a gun fires out Johnson. So the Dodgers settle for 2. Brewers lead at the end of 5, 10-2.
Los Angeles held its breath. Now let's go back to this one.
Milwaukee leading 10-2. We go to the 6th inning, and it'll be Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder, and Casey McGee. So Braun, who always rises to the occasion here, has a double and a triple tonight. His double drove in 3. Then he scored on his triple. So Ryan, 2 extra base hits, driven in 3 and scored 2. So the man from Mission Hills certainly enjoys coming to Los Angeles. One note about Ryan Braun, you know, we mentioned he was Rookie of the Year in 2007. He's the only Rookie of the Year in Major League history as he hits a towering playable fly ball. Reed Johnson is there. One away. He's the only Rookie of the Year in Major League history to play just one position as a rookie and switch to a completely new position the next year. He had so many problems at third base, they moved him to the outfield. And although he is still not considered an excellent outfielder, he's doing well. One away in the 6th inning, and here's Fielder. Struck out, hit a 2-run home run, grounded out. Sore hand or no, he is still a rather imposing hitter despite that .237 average. And lifts it back to shortstop. Going out, Carroll looking for help. Here comes Reed Johnson. So 2 out in the 6th inning. And Casey McGee coming up.
Third baseman number 14, Casey McGee.
McGee grounded out twice, single to right to drive in Braun in the 4th inning. And a twisting foul out of play. 0-1. Tomorrow night, left-hander Doug Davis against right-hander Chad Billingsley. Dodgers figure to be 3-6 against left-hand starters when they go and take the field tomorrow night. Then they'll see the right-hander Dave Bush on Thursday night against John Eli. Ball 2. 2-1. Little nubber back to the box. Easy inning. Couple of fly balls and a comebacker. And at the end of 5.5, Brewers 10, Dodgers 2.
or see your local dealer today. And by Lowe's. Experience Lowe's Let's Build Something Together. Russell Martin will lead it off, followed by Andre Ethier and Matt Kemp. Bottom of the 6th inning, 10-2 Brewers, and ball 1. Martin twice now has grounded to short. Two and 0. Narveson going 3-0. And ball 4. Narveson has not worked a lot. His last game against Philadelphia, make it against Pittsburgh, he went 5 innings. He hasn't gone beyond 5. Before that, it was 2 and 1. So now here he is trying to push himself, and he might be running out of gas. He walks Martin, and that'll bring up Andre Ethier. Brewers lead 10-2. Ethier flied to center, grounded out, 0 for 2. Foul ball. Took a bite out of Zahn. Well, imagine how many bruises Greg Zahn must have, considering how many years he's been catching professionally since 1989. Whoops. That slipped. That was not an intimidation pitch. Big curveball. 1-1. That was a breaking ball without any break to it. Of course, it was Ethier when Jack Tashner the other night threw behind him. That was a retaliation from Ramon Ortiz, who threw one at the head of Andrew McCutchen. But this was just a breaking ball that slipped. 2-1 the count. Snapped off a good fastball. 2-2. Chad Billingsley and Doug Davis tomorrow night. Davis with an earned run average of almost 9. He'd probably think to himself he'd love to have some of these runs. Towering fly ball, but playable. Carlos Gomez. So Ethier, fly ball to center, 1 away. Well, here's a look at how our text message voting is going. Remember, the question was, which of these do you think will happen again first? A hitter winning the Triple Crown or a pitcher winning 30 games? Well, right now, 61% of you say a hitter winning the Triple Crown. Text your answer to 86212 on your cell phone. 1 away, and here's Matt Kemp. Fly to center and walk. Matt 0 for 1, hitting .286. 7 home runs, 20 runs batted in. Last year against Milwaukee, Matt had a 5 RBI game. And probably pulls that one down the left field line. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce up into the stands. So that means Kemp loses a run batted in. It's a ground rule double, and Russell Martin has to stop at third. So with 1 out, Dodgers at second and third, having scored 2 in the 5th inning. There's another look. Fan caught it, and he's thrilled. Bad habit, interfering with balls in play.
Where's Loney? Struck out, grounded out, 0 for 2. They're moving the furniture around in the Milwaukee bullpen. As we said, Narveson has been accustomed in relieving to go 1 inning, 2 innings. Then he did go 5, and he's struggling a little bit. And Claudio Vargas begins to loosen up. There he is. 0-1 the count to James Loney. Good curveball. Boy, you see Loney flinch, and then that ball just broke down into the zone. Yeah, that's a major league curveball. And a major league hitter at the plate. Loney batting .327. 1-2. Ten to 2 in favor of Milwaukee. They had a 9-run second inning. Fouled away. Still 1-2 to James. Casey Blake on deck. Russell Martin down the line from third. Matt Kemp at second. 1 out. 10 runs, 11 hits for the Brewers. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Breaking ball pulled foul. Another curveball. 1-2. Loney seeing a lot of curves in this at bat. He has struck out and grounded out. 0 for 2. Two and 2. So he's gotten a lot of curves, 2 change-ups, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Fastball. Grounded to third. They'll go for the out. Scoring is Martin. That makes it 10-3 Brewers. Holding at second base is Matt Kemp, and the batter will be Casey Blake.
Third baseman for 23, Casey Blake.
3 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Casey Blake grounded to short and singled up the middle. So Kemp at second with 2 out. Fastball for a strike. There's always a little movement on that pitch. Hard to figure. Sometimes it would be a slider. Sometimes it just looks like a fastball with a little jump to it. 0-1. 1-1. Ten runs, 11 hits for the Brewers. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Game 1 of the 3-game series. Colorado leading San Diego 2-1. Should the Dodgers lose and the Padres win, Dodgers would trail by 5.5. 1-2 the count to Casey Blake, hitting .268, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Fastball missed. 2-2. And ground ball to third. Nice stop there by McGee. So one Casey nails the other Casey. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left. And at the end of 6, 10-3 Brewers. Brought to you by Carl's Jr. $6 burgers made with 100% Black Angus beef. By Southwest. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Dodge. Visit us at dodge.com or see your local dealer today. 10-3 in favor of the Brewers. They had a 9-run second inning to take the ball game right out of the ballpark, and then they added 1 more in the 4th inning. Dodgers scored 2 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. By the way, tonight at Lake Elsinore, the Inland Empire 66ers had a DH named Manny Ramirez, who played 4 innings, and they had a pitcher by the name of Jeff Weaver, who pitched 3 innings. Dodgers, of course, waiting to get both men back here. 1-2 to Corey Hart. Walk, single, grounded into a double play. Dodgers with Clayton Kershaw, Ramon Ortiz, and then Charlie Hager. 2-2. Rafael Furcal. They also serve who only sit and wait. The Dodgers have decided to put him on the disabled list. I think the Dodgers were hoping that platelet plasma injection would get them ready to maybe even play during this series. But they want to be so careful with him. Hard a fly ball to Ethier. 1 away. So although Carroll and Reed Johnson and Xavier Paul and anyone else who plays in left field, they're okay, and they will not be the same until they get Furcal back to short and Manny in left field and Weaver back in the pen. Greg's on, hit by a pitch. Hit a 2-run home run, his first of the year, and single to center. Fastball strike, 1-1. Fastball was clocked at 84. And then back to the knuckleball. 2-1. Hager has worked 3 innings, so technically now 3 1/3. It's a strike. 2-2. Zahn, switch hitter. Ball 3. And a drive to the gap, and there's no one there. That will go to the wall. So Greg Zaun having his game of the year thus far. A hit by a pitch, a single, a double, and a home run. So he figures to have one more at bat and a shot at the cycle. So the one-out double brings up Alcides Escobar. Single popped up, was robbed of an extra base hit by Casey Blake, who took a double away from him and turned it into a force play. First time we've ever seen him play, and there's one thing very evident, in fact two. He can cover some ground, and what an arm he has. Wow. Hitting .250 with a home run and 9 runs batted in. 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. The next one, as they call him in Spanish in Venezuela. It looks like El Siguiente for the next one. Siguiente. El Siguiente. 3-1 to count. That's just right. They want him to be more patient. As we said, he had 4 walks in 125 at bats last year. 3-2. And there's a walk for him. So what does that give him this year? Let's look it up. Escobar getting that walk has now walked 5 times, so he's walked more this year already than all of last year. Jody Garrett is now going to come up and hit for Narveson. Garrett spells that last name G-E-R-U-T. You may remember when he played for San Diego. 0-1. Jody still lives in Illinois, in Lombard. He went to school at Stanford. Garrett used to play a game with his dad. I think all of us loved that when we had a chance. He'd be on the side of a swimming pool. His father would throw the ball, and then he would try to time it to catch the ball before he hit the water. Well, he hits the water as he strikes out. And with 2 down, 2 on, the batter is Ricky Weeks. Two on, 2 out, 7th inning, 10-3 Brewers. Ricky has walked and singled, hit back to the box, and struck out. Little ground ball on a check swing to Loney, and that'll be that. So no runs, a hit, a walk, and 2 left. And at the end of 6.5 innings, Chris Iverson saying good night. The Brewers lead the Dodgers 10-3, and the crowd will now be asked to join in the singing of God Bless America, and then take me out to the ball game.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and join in the singing of God Bless America. Please welcome back to the field, Todd Lights.
God bless America, land that stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Claudio Vargas, you may remember, he was with the Dodgers last year. He only pitched 11 innings. He's out of the Dominican, originally drafted by the Marlins, 31 years old. First came up with the Expos in 2003. And the first pitch popped up. Weeks goes out and calls and makes the play. Say, friends, visit the official online shop of the Dodgers at Dodgers.com. You can browse the largest selection of official gear, including the latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, and authentic classics for the whole family. So get your gear from the official source, the Dodgers.com shop. Accept no substitutes. DeWitt pops it up. Here's Jamie Carroll. DeWitt now 1 for 3. Carroll 1 for 1. With a scoring fly ball. One out in the 7th. With Xavier Paul now coming out on deck, he will bat for Charlie Hager. 1-0. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Carlos Monasterios begins to warm up. Dodgers with Kershaw, Ortiz, Hager, Narveson, and Vargas now for the Brewers. 1-2. Dodgers with a modest 3-game winning streak, certainly in jeopardy. 1 out, 7th inning, 10-3 Brewers. Fastball got him. So Jamie caught looking, down he goes. And Xavier Paul will come up and bat now for Charlie Hager.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitter for the Dodgers, number 30.
Xavier Paul hitting .250. 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. Paul led off in the last game against the Pirates. Had 1 hit. No, he had 2. He had a triple and a single. So hitting .250 against Vargas. And a strike. Vargas 6'3", 225. When the Marlins signed him, he was 16 years old in the Dominican. He got a bonus of $3,000. That's all. He was about 15 years old playing the outfield, and they converted him to be a pitcher. He comes from a large family. Claudio has 7 sisters and 4 brothers, and he's the youngest of the 12 children. Started playing ball when he was about 8 years old. One ball and 1 strike. Foul ball, 1-2. Xavier Paul giving it a battle here with 2 out in the 7th inning, and the Brewers leading 10-3. Xavier Paul played in the Mexican League, the Mexican Winter League, getting ready for this year. Foul ball. And in 164 at-bats down there, Paul hit 7 home runs. Vargas first became a Brewer in 2007. Left them, played for the Mets and the Dodgers, and came back to the Brewers last year. 1-2. And down goes Paul. So Vargas comes in, strikes out 2 of the 3 he faces. And at the end of 7, 10-3 Milwaukee. Text message question. Remember, we asked, which of these do you think will happen again first? A hitter winning the Triple Crown or a pitcher winning 30 games? 68% of you said a hitter winning the Triple Crown. Well, we go to the 8th inning. Carlos Monasterios picking up for the Dodgers. And it'll be Gomez, Braun, and Fielder in that order. So Monasterios, who gave the Dodgers a good 4 innings last time out, with a record of 1-0, picking up. He is the 4th Dodger pitcher. A bitter night for young Clayton Kershaw, but it's all part of the growing process. Kershaw went an inning and a third and just couldn't get anybody out. Dodgers hope that he will learn from it. Gomez singled, hit by a pitch, flied to right, struck out, and promptly hits a BB off the glove of the diving Jamie Carroll. So it's a base hit for Gomez, and he's 2 for 4.
Left fielder, number 8, Ryan Braun.
10 runs, 13 hits for the Brewers. Ryan Braun struck out with 2 on in the first inning, so when he came up in the second inning with the bases loaded, he was really hungry and probably double home all 3. Then in the 4th inning, he led off with a triple, and last time up, flied to left. Ryan Braun, in his young career, would you believe he has 103 home runs through his first 3 major league seasons? That makes him 6th in history over that stretch. Albert Pujols 114, Ralph Kiner 114, Eddie Matthews 112, then Joe DiMaggio 107, Mark Teixeira 107, Ryan Braun 103. As the late Pearl Bailey would say, that ain't no bad crowd to hang around with. 1-2. For the Brewers, not quite like the Pirates, but they had a stretch of a dozen straight losing seasons. The Pirates have had 17. The Brewers have won 80 or more 4 of the last 5 years. They got the out. A nice play by Jamie Carroll to hold on to the ball. So Braun hits into the force play, and that'll bring up Prince Fielder.
First baseman, number 28, Prince
Big
Fielder.
bouncer, and then Monasterios throwing to Carroll had to go up. When he came down, his legs were taken out from under him. You wonder, did he ever touch the bag? But in this kind of a game, Tim Timmons says out, 1 away. Fielder struck out, hit a 2-run home run, grounded out and flied out. 1 for 4. Two and 0 the count to Cecil. And that gets away and goes to the backstop. So down to second base goes Braun. It'll be a wild pitch. We're in the 8th, 10-3 in favor of the Brewers. Three and 0 the count. He could be allowed to swing. 3-1. Once upon a time, Prince Fielder was known as Cecil Fielder's son. I think Cecil will now be known as Prince's father. He surpassed his dad in many ways already. 3-2 the count. Prince, I would think, is rated maybe number 2 behind Albert Pujols as the best first baseman in the National League. 3-2. Fouled away. Fielder will be with the Brewers for at least the next 2 years. This year and next, and then it'll be a big decision for Milwaukee as to what to do with him. And got him on the inside corner. Fielder doesn't think so, but he just looks at Bob Davidson. You want to see each other look? Watch Davidson and watch Fielder. Well, they just stared at one another, and Davidson, I think, was waiting. If Fielder had done anything, I think Bob really didn't like the way Fielder looked at him. 2 down, and here's Casey McGee. Grounded out twice, single to right, hit back to the box, 1 for 4. Here's the stare down. Watch. Here's Fielder. Really? Oh, is that so? And look at Davidson. Oh, yeah? Do anything in your history, pal. Do anything, and you are out of here. So Prince wisely walked away. 1-1. And, you know, Bob's been umpiring a long time. Prince has been playing a long time. They've probably had their moments. One and two. The paid attendance tonight, although a lot of folks have left now. But when this game started, we had 50,000 in the house. 50714. Taking their blankets and gone home to bed. 1-2 the count to Casey McGee. Big bouncer through into right field for a base hit. So Braun coming to the plate to score. And holding on at first with a base hit is McGee. So Braun has had a big game with a double and a triple. He has scored 3 and he has knocked in 3. It is 11-3 in favor of the Brewers. Corey Hart walked, singled, hit into a double play, flied to right, hitting .261. Ground ball to short. Carroll underhands to DeWitt, and they're out of the inning. 1 run, couple of hits, and a man left. And at the end of 7 1/2, 11-3 Brewers. in favor of the Brewers. And Manny Parra, the left-hander, coming out of the Brewer pen. So it's been Naverson, then Vargas, and now Manny Parra. Manny, born in Sacramento, a 27-year-old. Went to Casa Roble High School, went to American River Junior College. For Manny, 0-1, good ERA, 2.2. He was selected by Milwaukee, first-year player draft back in 2001. Parra will be pitching to Reed Johnson. Fastball, strike, 0-1. Reed Johnson fouled to right, popped to short, grounded to short. 0 for 3, hitting .277. 0-2. So it's been Naverson, Vargas, and Parra. No balls, 2 strikes. In the dirt, missed, up with it, and Zahn makes the tag. So Johnson strikes out. 1 away in the 8th inning, and the batter now will be Russell Martin. So Greg Zahn having a big night, hit by a pitch, single, double, home run, and remember, he's going to lead off the 9th inning. Wouldn't that be something if a fella his age hits for the cycle? Ball 1. Russell Martin, 2 ground balls to short, walked and scored a run. That's a strike. 1-1. Martin in the past 0 for 5 against Parra. Casey Blake 4 for 7 against him. 1-1. Ball 2. Sitting quietly in the Milwaukee dugout, and to show you what kind of a guy he was, hours and hours ago when they were taking BP, a lot of his former teammates with the Dodgers made sure to go over and say hello, give him a hug, pat him on the back, wish him well. Randy Wolf, terrific guy, wonderful pitcher, and doing well with the Milwaukee Brewers. Randy with a record of 2-2, but his earned run average is only 3.8, averaging a little more than 6 innings a start. So welcome back. 2-2 to Russell Martin. 11-3 Brewers. Dodgers were blown out of the water when the Brewers scored 9 in the 2nd inning. Little roller up along first base. Fielder can't make the tag, I don't think. However, they were looking at Martin, and I guess Fielder just did get a little bit of him going by. So 2 out. Take a good look. Somewhere in there just apparently touched him on the left leg. First base umpire Alfonso Marquez there to call it. So Fielder with a light touch. And we have 2 down, 8th inning. Andre Ethier. Fly to center, grounded to first, fly to center again. (11-3 Brewers, bottom of the 8th. Fastball hit up the middle. So Andre goes 1 for 4 as he singles to center. Dodgers' 5th hit. They had 4 hits against Chris Naverson. Chris went 6. held the Dodgers to 3 runs. Matt Kemp flied to center, walked, double allowed. Matt batting .292. Right. Narveson followed by Vargas and then Parra, and the Brewers lead 11-3. Oh, 0-1. 0-2. Dodgers go to Milwaukee in August. 24th, 25th, 26th. 0-2 to Kemp. Loney on deck. 11-3 Brewers. Bottom of the 8th. 2 out. In the dirt. Nice save by Greg Zaun. Greg, 39 years old, and a regular catcher. .39, you figured, you'd have a role like Brad Osmus, catch maybe once a week. And whacked into left field for a base hit. Braun over to cut it off. Holding on at second base is Ethier. When you're down by 8 this late, no gambles on the base paths. So Matt Kemp, a single, double, and a walk tonight. First and second with 2 out. And James Loney struck out, grounded out twice. 0 for 3. 11 runs, 14 hits for the Brewers, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. James hitting .324, 1 home run, 14 runs batted in. Two on, 2 out. In the dirt, nice block by Zaun. 1 ball and no strikes. We had 50,714. We might have half of that here left in the 8th. One and 1 to James Loney. Tomorrow night, left-hander Doug Davis will go up against Chad Billingsley. Then Thursday night, the concluding game of the series, Dave Bush, John Eli. And then Colorado here on the weekend. Colorado edging San Diego 2-1 in the 8th. Giants held on against Florida. Giants scored 9 times to beat Florida 9-6. That was a Tim Lincecum game. Two balls, 1 strike. Fastball whacked to center. On back is Gomez to the top. Ball gone. And that makes it 11-6 Brewers. As Loney hits it out. So James Loney clears the center field barrier. For James, his second home run. Remember, he had one here last year, and he didn't hit that one until game number 76 at home. 12 of his 13 on the road. Now he's got 2 this year at Dodger Stadium. Todd Coffey gets up. Ken Maka, obviously a little edgy. Rick Peterson, the new pitching coach for Milwaukee, out to the mound. Peterson is quite a baseball man when you realize that his father was a general manager for both the Pittsburgh Pirates and the New York Yankees. Harding Peterson. Okay, here's Casey Blake. Grounded out twice, single. Second ground ball was a big play by Casey McGee. Right. 0-1. 2 out, 3 in, 11-6 Brewers in the 8th. Oh and 2 on deck, Blake DeWitt. Manny Parra last year gave up 19 home runs and 18 the year before. And we'll see if he's given up any this year. That would be the first home run he's allowed this year. 1-2 the count to Casey Blake. Fastball popped up. Prince Fielder, foul ground. So the Dodgers settle for 3, a 3-run home run by James Loney, and at the end of 8, 11-6 Brewers. And then Parra's spot. And as we mentioned for Greg Zaun, although it would be something to see, Zaun needs a triple. And for a 39-year-old catcher, that's asking a lot. He's been hit by a pitch. He has a single, a double, and a home run. Oddly enough, the last Brewer to hit for the cycle was also a catcher. Chad Miller hit for the cycle versus Cincinnati back in 2004. Strike. So the pride of Glendale and St. Francis High, Greg Zaun. 0-1. The last triple that Greg had was in 2007 with Toronto. He had one in 2005. Then you have to go back to 2002 when he was with the Astros. No triple here. It'll be a 3-1 out. But a nice night for Greg Zaun. One away.
Shortstop number 21, Alcides Escobar.
Monasterios now working Alcides Escobar. Joe Inglet, a left-hand hitter, comes out on deck to be the pinch hitter. Escobar, single, popped up, robbed of a hit, and walked. Robbed of a double, actually, by Casey Blake, who took the double away and turned it into a force play. Top foul, out of play. One ball and one strike. Escobar came in here, 1 for his last 14, then had a base hit first time up. Bounced that one. 2-1. It's been Kershaw, Ortiz, Hager, and Monasterios. Narveson, Vargas, and Parra for Milwaukee. Brewers with 9 runs in the second inning let all the air out of the balloon. It's now 11-6. Hard ground ball. Casey Blake over Maloney. So 2 down in the 9th inning. Joe Inglet coming up. He will hit for Parra.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for the Brewers, number 2, Joe Inglet.
So here's Joe checking in with 2 out, 9th inning. Inglet's out of Sacramento, went to the University of Nevada, Reno. It's about 5'10", 180. Foul back. 32 years old, originally signed by the Indians 10 years ago. About 5'10", 180. He made his debut replacing Ronnie Belliard at second base for the Indians. Belliard, of course, sitting in the Dodger dugout tonight wearing the blue. 1-1. Holds that bat in a rather unusual way. Keeps it straight up. Hands right at his heart. 2-2 the count. And he hits it over the head of Blake DeWitt. So Inglet comes off the bench and comes up with a base hit. And the leadoff man, Ricky Weeks, will check in. Ricky Weeks walked, singled, hit back to the box, struck out, grounded out, hitting .252. $11 runs, 15 hits for the Brewers. Strike. On deck, Carlos Gomez. Line drive right at Casey Blake for the last out. So no runs, 1 hit, a man left, and we head to the bottom of the 9th. Brewers 11, Dodgers 6. Brewers have led all the way. They ran away early in the game with 9 runs in the second inning. And now in the 9th inning, Todd Coffey comes in to try and shut down the Dodgers. Todd Coffey with an ERA of 3 and a record of 1-0. Trevor Hoffman is normally the closer. Trevor has 4 saves, but Hoffman has really struggled. You look at Hoffey's ERA, it's 11.7. So he's not up to speed yet. So they hope Coffey is. And Blake DeWitt will be the first man to face him. Todd Coffey is out of Shelby, North Carolina. Lives in Forest City. He was originally signed by the Reds back in 1998. He was 17 years old and he weighed 305 pounds. He now weighs about 240. Right. Blake DeWitt has struck out, doubled, and popped up 1 for 3, scored a run. One ball and 1 strike. Todd Coffey's granddad played minor league baseball. Off the plate. 2-1 the count. Todd 6'5" and 240. Boy, he was a big 17-year-old, huh? Because he wanted to play baseball for a living, he really cut off the poundage. Ball 3. How did he lose all the weight? He ate chicken. I mean, he really ate chicken. He'd buy an 80-pound bag of chicken. He'd have a freezer designated for only a chicken. Look at that pick by Escobar. Wow. He made it look so easy going behind the bag. So 1 away in the 9th inning. Take another look. Big hopper, and here comes Escobar just gliding over and gets his man. First time we've ever seen him play. He's very impressive, especially his arm. Whoa. Jamie Carroll at the plate, single to right, had a scoring fly ball and struck out. Jamie hitting .273. Strike. 0-1. One ball and 1 strike. Garrett Anderson comes out on deck. Garrett would back for Monasterios. Last year, the Brewers won 2 out of 3 here, and the Dodgers won 2 out of 3 in Wisconsin. And now this year, the Brewers come in and dominate in the first game. Tomorrow night, Doug Davis and Chad Billingsley. Still 1-2. Coffey throws hard, high 90s. Slider and a splitter. Two and 2. A couple of years ago, David Weathers, a veteran reliever with the Reds, taught Todd Coffey how to throw the 2-seamer. Still 2 and 2. A 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 2. 2 One out, ninth inning, 11-6 Brewers. Game one of the three-game series. They're in the bottom of the ninth inning in San Diego with Colorado 2-2. If the Padres pull that out, the Dodgers then would trail San Diego by 5.5, which would make the weekend series with the Padres starting on the 14th a big one. Fouled away. Remember, when this homestand is over after Milwaukee and Colorado, the Dodgers then go to Arizona and then San Diego. 2-2 the count. Little ground ball. Ricky Weeks. So 2 down in the ninth inning, and Garrett Anderson will now come up and bat for young Carlos Monasterio. Anderson becomes the third Dodger pinch hitter. Nick Green, Xavier Paul, they each struck out. And now Garrett. 11 runs, 15 hits for the Brewers, including home runs by Fielder and Zahn, a bases clearing double by Braun, who also tripled. Dodgers never in the game. 0-1 to Garrett, batting .119. Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Clayton Kershaw was gone in the second inning and had made 57 pitches. Charlie Hager made 67 pitches in his 3 innings. Ball 2, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Big bouncer backing up his fielder. He'll feed Coffey, and that will be that as Garrett Anderson grounds out, and the Dodgers have their little 3-game winning streak snapped. 6 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers, who bow to Milwaukee 11-6. A reminder, tomorrow night we'll be on over Prime Ticket. That'll be Doug Davis and Chad Billingsley. We'll talk to you then. Until then, we'll wish you all a very pleasant good evening.